Passenger equipment. Passenger equipment safety standards subpart F and G. Inspection, testing, maintenance, and planning requirements for Terrier 2 Module 7. Module objectives. Apply FRA passenger equipment safety standards with the inspecting passenger equipment. Identify deviation from the standards. Inspection, testing, maintenance 238-503. Inspection contained with the general provision requiring railroad to develop a detailed plan with the inspection, testing, maintenance, retaining Terrier 2 equipment, filling information submitted with the and approved for the FRA before the railroad begins operations utilizing Terrier 2 equipment. Inspection, proceed with the intervals, criteria of the test, proceed with the intervals, schedule preventive maintenance interval of the maintenance procedures, special testing equipment, measuring devices required to perform inspection and testing, trainer qualification designation, employee with a contract for the perform inspection, testing, maintenance. Compliance. After the FRA approved the ITM program, the railroad should adopt the program to perform the following inspection with the test for the power brake for the primary brakes. Additional inspection testing of the railroad identified as safety critical. Maintenance task for the railroad identified as safety critical. General ITM. ITM programs contain with the railroad written procedure for all the shift of the components of the shift of the passenger equipment that free with the air general condition and dangerous safety of the crew and passenger equipment. The procedure shall protect against the continuous accumulation of oil, grease, and proper function of the component of the crack and break, except for the wear, structural defect, the weakness of the component, the leak, use of the component system, and with the condition of the exceed of which of the component of the size system is designed to operate and ensure the attachment of the component. Inspection continued. Terrier 2 equipment train shall receive the Class 1 brake test, equivalent brake test prior to the departure of the operating terminal every 1,500 miles or once each calendar day. Whichever comes first, the brake test shall be performed with a qualified maintenance person. 100% of the operated brakes required with the Class 1 equivalent brake test is performed. Complete with the interior exterior with the mechanical inspection required with the form of the qualified maintenance personnel. At least once each calendar day with equipment is due with the ensure the train is necessary to schedule for the Class 1 brake test. Mechanical inspection due with the delay en route may proceed to the point where the Class 1 brake test, the mechanical inspection was scheduled to be performed. Defective equipment. Even if the power brake defect shall be removed with the conform with the 238-15. Even if the other defect shall be removed with the conform with the 238-17. Exemptions. When failure secondary brake with the Terrier 2 passenger train occurs en route, but the train may remain until the next schedule of the calendar day with the Class 1 brake test. The equivalent speed no greater than the maximum safety operating speed demonstrated through the analysis of the testing of the braking with the friction braking alone. Brake system shall be restored with 100% operation before the train departs for the inspection location. Maintenance intervals. Maintenance intervals, safety critical of the component shall be changed only when the justified and accumulated verified with the only operating data with approved by the FRA before changing takes effects. Training qualification designation program. Railroad shall have the training qualification designation program employed by the contractor to perform safely related inspection, maintenance, maintenance of the equipment. If the railroad deems particular safety critical, the only qualified individual shall perform the task of the program designed intended to address the employee work condition issue relating to the employee safety during the course of the conducting inspection, testing, maintenance of the passenger equipment. Safety critical items. The railroad shall identify all inspection testing procedure with the criteria as well as all maintenance intervals of the railroad deemed to be safety critical. Quality control. Each railroad shall establish an inspection, testing, maintenance, quality control program and enforce with the railroad contractor supervisor reasonably ensure that the inspection, testing, maintenance are performed according to the federal safety standard of the procedure established by the railroad. Annual review. The inspection, testing, of the maintenance program required by this section shall be reviewed by the railroad annually. The FRA inspector will periodically monitor and review the inspection, testing, maintenance plans again with the actual application of the railroad employee to determine the compliance with the effectiveness. Safety planning. 238-603. Railroads shall prepare, execute written plan with the safety operating with the Terrier 2 equipment prior to beginning revenue passenger service with said equipment. The plan shall be updated with a minimum every 365 days. Safety plan content. The plan shall contain the following elements. Identify all requirements necessary for the safety of the operation equipment, the operating environment. Identify all known potential hazards for the safety of the operation equipment. Eliminate and reduce the risk posed with each of the hazards identified at acceptable level using appropriate reference as a guide with the alternative formal safety methodology, and impose operational limitations as necessary on the operation of the equipment if the equipment cannot meet safety requirements. Procurement. Each major upgrade with the introduction of new technologies existing in Terrier 2 passenger equipment, the effects for the safety system on the associated equipment that each railroad shall prepare with the execute written safety plan. Procurement content. The plan shall contain the following elements: identify all safety requirements governing with the design of the passenger equipment and supporting system, evaluate the whole system, including hardware, software testing with the supporting activities, identify known the potential safety hazards over the life cycle of the equipment, and identify safety issues during the design review, eliminate and reduce risk posed by each hazard, identify at an acceptable level using appropriate reference material as a guide and alternative formal safety methodology. Monitoring of the progress result of the safety issue, reducing hazard of the meeting safety requirements, develop the program, the testing of the analysis of the role to demonstrate the safety requirements have been met, and impose operational limits as necessary for the operation of the equipment if the equipment cannot meet safety requirements. Records. Each railroad shall maintain sufficient documentation to demonstrate how operations designed the Terra 2 passenger equipment comply with the appropriate safety requirements. Each railroad shall maintain sufficient documentation to track how safety issues are raised and resolved. Each railroad shall make available the FRA inspection copy of the upon request, each safety plan required to the section, and documentation required pursuant to such a plan. And this is the end of Module 7. Testing.